Ahoy, A Thunderstruck here. I'll be reading the story of the Dark Side of the Moon's side story. Unfortunately, I won't be able to read the prologue to you because I accidentally skipped it when I started it up, and now I can't find it again inside the game here, so I don't have the footage for that, unfortunately. But I'll still be reading all the story parts and doing the battle that you can unlock by unlocking the whole album. As you can see in the bottom right, at every 25% you've unlocked, you unlock one part of the story. With at 50% it includes a battle, and I'll be reading all of those stories in this video. This is the portrait and Dark Side of the Moon, and we have this first story here. Friedrich, what are you? Ah! I've taken care of this side. Sir Krau, what should we do about the research papers and test subjects? Burn them to ashes. Not a single trace of this horror should be left behind. No, leave them. You want to keep this horrible place intact? I need it as proof to legitimize my overthrow of the king, and to compensate those who suffered here. There is still so much more to do after this. You've got a point. Anyway, I don't see that homunculus of his. I think I know where she might be. Please deal with this area while I go find her. He knows where she might be. Has he come here before? King Alfred, you must escape. Soldiers are... King Alfred! I noticed he'd been growing weaker, but I didn't think he would collapse like this. In this condition, even if we do manage to escape... Sigret. Yes, your majesty. You're the only one who stayed with me until the end. I'm sorry. What for? If I weren't here, if you had summoned a real Queen's soul like you wished, none of this would have happened. Is that why you kept asking about her? I told you not to. The Queen lived a similar life. She was constantly chasing the shadow of the real Kisei. I saw the same in you. I never wanted you to walk in the same footsteps of my poor wife. No matter how alike you look, an empty, false life, imitating the original. Your Majesty, if I die, do you think I will be able to meet her? Or will she slip through my fingers again? Sigret, would you do me a favor? If I don't see her again, if she comes back after I die, would you pass on my last words to her? If you wish me to, my queen, I had already realized you were not the Kisei I had promised my future to by the lakeside. But by that point I had already fallen in love with you regardless. I loved you as you were. You didn't have to leave. You had no need to feel guilty for deceiving me. I always wanted to tell... My creator, my master, I hope you rest in peace. Not long after, soldiers stormed into the room and brought me to a man named Friedrich. With his wavy blonde hair and features so similar to King Alfred, I could tell immediately he was the child from the portrait. It's chilling how much you resemble the painting of my mother. My father gave up everything he had for the sake of a pale imitation, even until his last moment. What a disgusting man. King Alfred was... Silence! You've been treated as a human for so long, you've started thinking you are one. After all this time pretending to be my father's wife, have you convinced yourself you have the right to act my mother too? Soldiers! I want this abomination decapitated! She is responsible for seducing the former king and bringing Taranor into decline. With all due respect, your majesty, I suggest you reconsider. She was the first homunculus your father created. I'm sure she can be useful to us in our own research. I hope you didn't forget about our deal. Do whatever you want, she means nothing to me. King Alfred? He wasn't crazy, he was just... Do you think that matters? Are you willing to sacrifice everything to let the world know? Well, pitiful thing, made with a singular goal in mind. But even you have a calling. What is it you wish to achieve? To clear Alfred's name, or to avenge him? My calling... Sigret, would you do me a favor? So, we just went through this one. The Queen needs to hear his last words. That is my calling, the first and last order I was given. Fine, then I will help you. How? I am commander of an army of undead and the Shadow King. Nothing is impossible if I will it. In return, I demand your unconditional loyalty, no useless thoughts or emotions getting in the way. What do you say? I will do as you wish. Alright, so next up is a battle. We get to play as Sigret, Taranor Tracker. Azera, Overflow Hill is the location. I don't want to hear any more of this! Get out! I should have realized when you insisted on keeping the damn laboratory. If I had known you would follow in your father's footsteps, I never would have helped. This is my last piece of advice to you, not only as your loyal subject, but as your friend. Turn your back on that acolyte and burn the laboratory. Sigret! I want him out of my castle! Now! As you command. Get your hands off of me! I was leaving anyway. Friedrich, this is the last time you will ever see me. Why are you still following me? Friedrich told me to make sure you leave the castle. I need to see you walk out through the gate myself. What a joke. Are you trying to wrap Friedrich around your little finger, just like you did with his father? You want to keep him all to yourself and bring even more ruin to Taranor. Am I wrong? I live only to serve. You're always repeating the same things with the same emotionless face. Are all homunculi like you? What more do you want from us? We are little more than vessels for souls. No better than a doll. Alas, Taranor and Friedrich. We've arrived at the gate. I will tell Friedrich that you left. Your very existence brings shame to our kingdom. One day I will make sure to kill you with my own sword. I'll wipe every trace of you from Taranor and its history. Goodbye. Not long after, Sir Krau broke into the homunculus laboratory and stole the homunculus that was being created to be a vessel for the Archdemon. Friedrich guessed he would flee to Azera and sent an entire unit of homunculi after him, including myself. Sigret, we have located him. Are you sure? He was wearing a hood, so we couldn't see his face, but he was riding on the back of Siegfried and had somebody else with him. Then it must be him. Lead the way. You're surrounded! Drop your weapon and give up peacefully. Huh? What? Surprised to see me? Sigrid! He tricked us! If Sir Krau doesn't have Siegfried with him, he must be moving slowly. Tell all soldiers to sweep the border with Azera. Yes, ma'am! Right, we'll do this battle myself. It's the first time I get to play with Sigrid. Since I don't have Sigrid yet, I haven't tried to summon her. Just 50% chance to inflict 2 bleeding effects. Oh yeah, I did see Sigrid in against me in arena. There's enemies. And then, yeah, I'm gonna just keep the ult for the last battle. Nice! That 1 bleeding stack was enough. to take it down. Oh, no bleeding stack infliction on this one. Right, let's see this Angara. Nice, 2 bleed stacks. That wipes it out. There we go. Well, I guess I didn't even need the bleed stacks because these just died without having any bleed stacks triggering on them. You found me quicker than I expected. Seeing as you're standing here alone, it seems I was not quick enough. Are you going to fight like this, even without your guardian or any of your men? I like to think of it as a throwback to when I was first knighted. Back then, I had no soldiers under my command, let alone a guardian. It was just me and my sword. But you know what? Even then, I never lost a fight. I like your confidence, but I'm also confident in my own abilities. I can still deal with you. Right. Time to use this ult. I can hardly feel a thing. Well, and the soul burn grants an extra turn. But it is better not to do this just yet. Because when I use this when it's under 50% health, I can apply an extra bleed stack. I can hardly feel a thing. Right, well, this time the bleed will drop him below 50%. Is my ult gonna be up yet? Nope, it's not. But if I use this now, thanks to the soul burn, I get the extra turn. More bleed stacks on him too. Thanks to using it below 50% health. Now I get my ult back. The bleed stacks weren't enough because he has the extra defense as well. And then hoppa, there we go. Ha! I guess this is where it ends. I feel like there's an is missing there. I was hoping I could at least drag you down to hell with me. I would never go anywhere with you. Why won't you kill me? I'm at your mercy. I was not ordered to kill you. Don't worry, I'm sure Friedrich won't care if you do. He has forsaken everyone and everything in favor of his new goal, including me. I was slow to accept that, and once I did, I wanted to turn things back to what they were before. But it's far too late for that. I lack the ability to discern the truth of your words. Even if that is so, I do not know what Kayron thinks about it. That's right, I almost forgot. You're only with Friedrich because that's what Kayron wanted. You will return to the royal palace with me and receive your punishment. A few days later, Taranor Royal Palace. I hear you spared Krau's life. I imprisoned him in the chasm instead. Krau is no normal knight. He will become a threat to you in the future if you let him live. He won't. I'll make him admit that he was wrong no matter how hard he fights back. It will be his first time experiencing true helplessness. But I've already made up my mind. Leave me alone. Understood. Friedrich is at the limit of his sanity. Forcing him to kill Krau at a time like this is just as dangerous as keeping him alive. I suppose I should take advantage while I still can. Friedrich's lingering attachment for Krau could work as a crutch for his collapsing mind. Alright, that clears the battle part and the extra story part. So now up next, another story part. Tenebria, where have you taken Friedrich? I ask you to stop messing with his mind. I don't recall agreeing to that. Besides, if it weren't for my hallucinations, he'd be drowning himself in alcohol instead anyway. I'd say this way is far healthier, physically at least. I'll ask once more, where is he? At the Queen's villa. That's where he has the most enjoyable dreams. Have you ever heard of a man whose mental refuge is their mother's bedroom? He's such a mama's boy, don't you think? Fine, go console him if you'd like. You have the same face as his beloved mother after all. Friedrich. She's at the Queen's villa now. Friedrich, wake up. You must attend the luncheon. Mother? No, even though I only met you a few times growing up, I've missed you my entire life. Hiding, watching you from afar, I imagined myself being held in your arms like any other child. Sometimes I'd rub my face against your portrait when there was nobody else around. Friedrich, I will never blame you for what my father and I did, but if you were here, things would have been different. If I ever met you again, I wanted to ask, why did you reject me? Why did you leave me? Why did you just keep watching from the portrait while the world fell apart around us? I was going to pull myself away from him and tell him that I'm not the Queen and that he must come to his senses. But when I opened my mouth, all that came out was a sob and I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, Friedrich. Even I couldn't understand why I said it. It was a response to some kind of emotion that I can't name. Very impressive. It was convincing enough to almost make me believe you really are his mother. It was a subconscious reaction. Is that so? I heard I was created using the Queen's body. Maybe I still hold some of her memories inside of me. So what now? You want to be treated like her too? You're so funny. All this time I assumed you were as boring as Kise. You know that homunculus with the blue hair that's always following me around? When she was a human, I killed her entire family. And you know what she said to me? She vowed she would never forgive me and that she would follow me to the deepest depths of hell to take her revenge. But guess what? Ever since she became a homunculus, she's like my own little puppy. She's obsessed with me. If that homunculus still has anything to do with the girl I killed, do you think she'd like me so much? No, she wouldn't. Exactly. What you felt was something more akin to a phantom pain from a lost limb. I'll spare you this time since you made me laugh. But pull that crap again and I'll rip your tongue out. I will be more careful. I chose to believe what Tenebria told me about it being a phantom pain. I preferred it that way because those emotions were so excruciatingly painful. Friedrich, I brought you breakfast. Come in. Today is... Don't you have anything to say about what happened yesterday? I don't know what you are talking about. My memory is fuzzy, but I definitely saw you there. Why did you apologize to me? Why were you hugging me and crying? Did Father really bring Mother back? There must have been a misunderstanding. A misunderstanding? No, I clearly remember. Friedrich, I told you I wasn't there. You've been indulging in those illusions too often. The boundary between dream and reality is blurring. Are you sure? Yes. Now, pull yourself together. I was created to support you, not to satisfy your lack of affection. Fine. I'm not eating breakfast. I'm going out for a walk. This emotion is nothing but a phantom pain born from my attempts to walk in the Queen's shadow. I'm not her. I'm only a homunculus who looks like her. No matter how much I admire her, I cannot be a wife or mother. Because I'm not real. I'll always be a shadow. A long time passed after that. Once Tenebria left, it became rare to see Friedrich sober, even more so than before. Meanwhile, Kayron's plan continued on track, and he succeeded at retrieving the homunculus made to be a vessel of the Archdemon. But then, Krau escaped from prison! I knew something like this would happen when Friedrich insisted on keeping him alive. I'll pass on the news. He doesn't seem to be doing well recently. Shouldn't we do something about it? The fateful day is just around the corner. I have given him some of my power. A little binge drinking won't kill him. I see. I'll excuse myself then. Sigret? Yes? I hope you remember what I told you before. Emotions will only get in the way. Do not ruin this all out of some foolish delusion. I won't. I am not some incomplete child. Kayron told me that Krau escaped. It seems he intends to meet with the heir of the Covenant. It is likely they will head for the homunculus laboratory first. Don't worry, I will bring that traitor back for you. There's no need. Kill him on sight. You would like me to kill Sir Krau? Yes, if I had listened to Kayron and killed him the first time around, we would have avoided all this. I've made too many mistakes based on childhood attachments. Friends, family, they're all useless to me now. I'll make sure not to repeat the same mistakes again. Understand, Sigret? I understand. With the end fast approaching, everyone was back in place. At least, that's how it seemed. Krau and the heir of the Covenant have entered the laboratory? I'm sorry. I knew this could not be avoided. I just needed time. Do not head back to the palace. Stay hidden, just in case. I'll spare you a few soldiers from the Archdemon's forces. Just in case? You mean if we lose the war? It won't happen, but it can't hurt to be prepared. If we do, then Friedrich will... Yes, he will die. We have no reason to keep him alive. He'll be worthless to us by that point. He wanted to murder your master, and he's no use towards achieving our goal, as you already know. Yes. You've been doing a great job, Sigret. I'll make sure you are rewarded. Once all of this is over, you will meet the Queen. Yes, sir. As you command. Good. I'll see you later. Kayron is right. I have no reason to doubt him, especially as this is the only way for me to fulfill my calling. And yet... Stop! Sigret? You're so persistent. It hasn't even been that long since you ran from us, and now you want to fight again. Despite all that, instead of following Kayron's orders, I decided to protect Friedrich. Didn't I say I won't lose twice? My life is not my own. I must simply follow orders as a faithful servant. My wishes are unimportant. Now that I have been ordered to delay you as long as possible, I will do so with my life. That is my fate and my duty. An impulsive act, without reason or purpose. I couldn't understand why I had made the choice to disobey and lie. Maybe... Why did you leave me? Why did you just keep watching from the portrait while the world fell apart around us? I didn't want to be like her. I didn't want to stand by and just disappear. Ah! All I've ever wanted was to be like the Queen. How ironic that when it came down to it, I decided to be her complete opposite. I've allowed useless emotions to ruin everything. Maybe all along I was faulty too. I'll finish this. King Alfred, I loved you as you were. You didn't have to leave. You had no need to feel guilty for deceiving me. I always wanted to tell. I don't think I can keep our promise. Forgive me. And that's the end of the character story, Dark Side of the Moon. Well, there's still a little piece here. What are you doing, kid? let's go. I wanted to make a gravestone for her. Is that allowed? I suppose even she deserves that much, at least. Make it quick. Here! Phew, that should do. Sigret. Even though it is weak, I can feel the power of the nocturnes inside you. Krau said you're not actually Kisei, but you have some kind of connection to her, don't you? If you do, then as long as your body is still here, you should be able to come back. Maybe as long as I make your grave noticeable, someone might find you and bring you back to life, if you're lucky. Are you done yet? Hurry up, or we'll leave without you. I'm coming. Goodbye, and good luck. Well, that is the actual end to it. Thank you very much for watching. If you've liked the video, make sure to hit that thumbs up button, and if you want to be notified when I upload more videos, hit that subscribe button. Take care.